When I first bought a double pedal, I was extremely excited to buy my double pedal. I was an excited teenager who'd seen a double pedal and needed one instantly. I could already play a little bit of drums, and I bought my double pedal expecting to just hop on and sound wicked straight away. And I swiftly learned that that was not going to be the case, whether I wanted it to be or not. And today's video is about all the things I wish I could have told myself from the future so I could pick it up just that bit quicker, because it's not always a stress-free experience, as I'm sure some of you will already know. So this one is 5 stepping stones for you guys out there who've just bought your double pedal and are wanting to get to grips with it a bit quicker. Because just because you can play the bass drum with your right foot and you play the drums with your left foot because it's been doing the hi-hat the whole time, it doesn't mean your left foot is going to jump into playing the bass drum straight away just because your right hand can. Whereas our hands both are holding sticks and we're playing the drums already, one hand can learn from the other hand and they pick themselves up pretty quick. But that left foot, trust me, that left foot is not going to know what to do with the bass drum from the word go. So instead of just jumping into playing both feet together, we're going to need to take a little bit of time teaching that left foot how to actually play the bass drum, how to interact with it, how to use that weight and that rebound, and give it some time to learn, which our brain does not want to give it, because our brain says, you can already play the bass drum. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And the left foot's like, no, please, I don't know how to play the bass drum. And your brain's like, no, play the bass drum. And your left foot's like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. So we're just going to give that poor little left foot a help and actually teach it instead of just expecting it to already know like the clever right foot does. So to teach our left foot how to play the bass drum, we are going to have to talk a little bit of technique. And I know this involves not playing the drums straight away and actually just having to leave your shiny new double pedal on the side for just a minute, but we'll keep this as quick as we can. When it comes to technique, the feet are simpler than the hands. Good news, good news. But we have to understand there are 2 areas that we can actually play our note from. I like to think of them as 2 gears. We've got gear number 1, which is our hip. And we're dropping that whole leg into the note from the hip. Picking up from the hip, dropping the leg from the hip and playing that note. Now I'm sure all of you have already done this with your right foot. We're going to have to take some time getting used to this in the left foot. We're playing from the hip. And gear number 2 is playing from your ankle. Now, obviously, we can't play from our knee with our leg because our knee goes in the wrong direction. We would just kick the pedal over instead of kicking the pedal down. So we've either got hip, dropping the whole leg, or we've got ankle where we're only playing from our foot. Now, for the purpose of today's lesson, we're going to be really focusing on isolating it to that hip. We don't want to worry about that ankle yet because we're not getting enough weight into it for us to really get used to placing those notes. So first things first, practice playing a single note, not even in a groove. Just sit behind your drum kit, left foot only, get used to how it feels to get that beater to actually hit the drum with some force, because when we're playing the hi-hat, there's no force to it at all. It's just this gentle little on or off. There's no impact, okay? We haven't got the beater swinging back and impacting something, so we need to get used to that. Playing from the hip, dropping that leg in, whether you get used to whether you want to bury the beater or let the beater bounce. I recommend starting with burying the beater, but again, we'll worry about that later. Get used to it. Give your left foot a chance to learn. Now, one thing that is worth taking a thought on here is just taking a quick moment, and this is like a sub part of point 1, is pedal setup, especially if it's a new pedal. Maybe it's come out of the box with great settings, maybe it hasn't. I'm reluctant to deep dive on this now because I want to get you guys playing, but if you're playing those notes and you're really struggling, or you can't get enough power in it, or it feels like the pedal is super stiff and you're struggling to make contact with force against the drum, check out my video on double pedal setup and just make some tweaks and experiments to find out what feels comfortable and make sure that pedal's set up right and that's not holding you back from the word go. Okay, now we've got a bit of understanding of how we're going to actually play the bass drum with that left foot. Point 2 is, again, we're going to get playing some grooves in a minute, but point 2 is just another thought on how we're playing, and that is the other half of the equation is our pedal. There's a chance that our new double pedal has come out the box with beautiful settings and it feels great. There's a chance we've picked up a pedal off of Facebook Marketplace and it feels like your dog's dinner. So we do have to actually take a second and make sure we've got that pedal set up right and it's working for us. This is a personal thing, so maybe you like it to be a little bit looser, maybe you like it to be a little tighter. we've got to get a sense of how that's feeling and that it's not working against us before we get started. So I'm not going to deep dive into this too much today because I do want to get you guys playing, but the main points to check out here are basically our spring tension and how far the beater is away from the drum. So make sure that beater is far enough away that we've got room to actually hit the drum properly and get some force behind it. If he's too close and we're just tapping the drum, that's not going to work. And our spring tension has to be also tight enough that we get a good pedal response, but not so tight that we're actually struggling to hit the drum. I don't want to deep dive too much into this today, but I have done a full video on double kick pedal setup if you want to get into that. Right, time to get playing. Now, before we put the feet together, we've got to get used to that left foot. Now it can play the drum. Now we've got to get it playing in time. So all we're going to do is set up a nice little eighth note groove with our hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to practice just putting that left foot on some eighth note downbeats. So whether that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, we're just going to improvise putting that left foot with our right hand on any of those notes as we're playing our groove. Start nice and slow and make sure that left foot is really locking in with your right hand, because that coordination is going to feel slightly different than when your right foot is locking in with your right hand, what we're already used to. Now what's really important with that one is that we're not only locking in with our right hand and our left foot together, but we're playing with enough velocity. We really want to focus on getting that bass drum loud and proud. We don't want to build our feet into a really loud, confident right foot and a really weak sounding left foot. And just boom, 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 boom. We want them to be the same velocity. So practice from this point right at the start, getting that left foot nice and loud. Okay, so now we've got it used to playing eighth notes. We've got to get a little bit more coordination out of it. So we've got to break off of that eighth note in the right hand, and we're going to start picking out some 16th note off beats. So we're going to start each bar by putting a kick on beat 1, and then we're going to improvise pulling out different 16th note off beats. So that's any note in between our right hand, and start getting that left foot used to breaking away from our right hand. Now this is going to be a lot more difficult at first than playing that eighth note on beat. So really be careful with the same things as before. The placement, make sure it's exactly in between. And make sure we're keeping that velocity up and it's nice and loud and proud. Now this is probably the exercise that you really want to spend some time on and get that left foot really confident picking out those 16th offbeats. Okay, so now hopefully we're gaining a little bit of confidence with that left foot. So let's mix our 8th notes and our 16th offbeats together to make this little groove, still only using our left foot. We're going to go 1 and 2, 3, 4, boom, boom, ga, dum, do, ga. Okay, so it's time. If you've followed with so far, your left foot is ready to join union with the right foot and play some actual double pedal. Now, we're not just going to jump straight into it and start blasting away. We're going to pick up in short little bursts, and we're just going to play a 1 and 2, 3 and a 4. That's it, a short burst of 4 notes. 1 and 2, 3 and a 4. Making sure we've got real nice even velocity between all of our notes. They're equally spaced rhythmically, and that we're really dropping in those both legs from the hip, nice and confident. 3 and a 4. And then once those short bursts are feeling nice and consistent, we can start thinking about making those bursts longer and eking ourselves up to a full double kick constant pattern over that same hand pattern. We're just going to keep those 16th notes going. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Now, hopefully you can see how building up that confidence with the left foot, actually teaching it how to hit a bass drum with a beater, and then linking it over to our right foot has given us the skills that we need to then play that double kick with consistency. But it doesn't end there. The more confidence we give that left foot, the better it's going to be when we play double pedal and use both of our feet together. So my final tip here is to actually play full single pedal songs that you already know, but only use your left foot. Now, I know that limits us on using the hi-hat and other bits and pieces as well, but just as an exercise to continually build up the things that left foot can do and then improve our double pedal playing, it's a really effective thing to keep building that confidence in the left foot. Now, I really hope this video has been useful for you double kick beginners. If you do want to check out an extended version of this lesson where we start looking at some ankle technique and really picking up the pace of our double pedal, then head over to drum.dog where you can check out this full length lesson along with heaps of others. Or alternatively, check out my other 5 tips for beginner double kick, which you can check out over here.